Are you ready for even stranger things? Stranger Things Season 2 is finally confirmed, and we're breaking down the first teaser on today's Nerdist news. Also, spoilers! We knew in our hearts it was coming, but we can't deny the huge wave of relief we felt when Netflix officially announced Stranger Things Season 2 this morning. And not just that, they even gave us a sweet teaser which reveals all 9, that's right, 9 episode titles. What Season 2 clues can we pry from these cryptic names? Let's find out. Alright, so first, MADMAX. Not MADMAX as in Mad Max, but MADMAX. One word. Why? Well, that's a toughie. Maybe the kids on the show mispronounced the post-apocalyptic franchise's title. We wonder if they've seen it since Season 2 is set in 1984, a year before Mad Max Thunderdome released, and they would have been a bit young to catch the Road Warrior. So, what if Mad Max refers to a character on the show? As suggested by an article on Zap2It, maybe Mad Max refers to Hopper, who, like Max, lost his wife and daughter. Will Hopper Mad Max out and go on some kind of revenge mission? When last we saw him, he seemed pretty alright, having made some kind of deal with the devil. Or at least the shadowy agency behind the Hawkins labs. Seems like they told him the truth behind Eleven's location, since he can now leave her waffle snacks in that interdimensional forest mailbox. So maybe he goes on the hunt for her throughout the Upside Down. We'll be spending a lot more time there in Season 2 after all, according to an EW interview with the Duffer Brothers. So maybe that'll be Hopper's storyline next year. In fact, maybe the entirety of Episode 1 will focus on a Hopper revenge mission through the Upside Down, since the Duffers also revealed that the first scene in Season 2 would take place outside of Hawkins, Indiana. Next up, the boy who came back to life. This one's easy, as we imagine that's poor Will Byers' new nickname in town. One can assume we'll learn just how much the first season's events are known to the rest of Hawkins. How did the Byers family explain Will coming back from the dead, and how is Will coping with being even more of an outcast in Hawkins? Moving on, Episode 3, The Pumpkin Patch. Will this be Stranger Things' inevitable Halloween episode? We'd guess as much, but how will it factor into the show's story? Well, if a monster preys on Hawkins yet again, a darkened, foresty pumpkin patch is a great place to do some stalking. It's also possible the title doesn't refer to an actual pumpkin patch at all, as some have already speculated it could instead be a reference to something in the Upside Down, like, say, a nest of those creepy eggs the Demogorgon was feeding on in Season 1. Next, we've got the Palace, which sounds like some kind of government facility codename. But what if instead this palace is something our characters find in the Upside Down? We don't know yet whether an intelligent civilization could live in this alternate dimension, but there's certainly no evidence against it, and it would help lead us into our guess for Episode 5, which is called The Storm. This is the juiciest title of all. See, since Season 1 premiered, the Duffer Brothers have dropped hints that the follow-up could feature lots more monsters, and it just so happens that in the original draft of the pilot for Stranger Things, which was titled Montauk, a whole mess of creatures invaded the town of Hawkins in an interdimensional storm, a la Stephen King's The Mist. With the Duffer Brothers telling EW that Season 2 will veer into blockbuster territory similar to James Cameron's sequels to Alien or Terminator, we're guessing that this storm is going to bring some truly insane monster action, which would make sense since Episode 6 sounds a heck of a lot smaller. POLLYWOG, which usually refers to a teenaged frog, could be a reference to that weird little slug monster Will barfed up at the end of Season 1, now growing in the sewers beneath Hawkins. Or as David Harbour joked on Twitter, it could be a bottle episode all about Patton Oswalt as a brand new character on the show. We're guessing the former, but we're secretly hoping for the latter. Moving on, Episode 7 is named The Secret Cabin, another mysterious location that could be either a shadowy government thing or something in the Upside Down. Since the Duffers are still playing coy about whether Eleven will return this season, though we all know that she will, we wouldn't be surprised if she took a while to reappear. So hey, maybe this secret cabin is the home she's made for herself in the Upside Down, or wherever she wound up after brain blasting the Demogorgon into oblivion. And if the cast finally does reunite with Eleven in Episode 7, we'd guess that Episode 8 is all about setting up the season's endgame. It's called The Brain, and since the show plays off of sci-fi tropes, we're guessing it refers to some kind of mother brain for the interdimensional monster baddies this season that must be destroyed in order to stop the whole hive. You know, that old chestnut, as Dan Casey would say. And finally, the finale. We're hoping that the Lost Brother refers to one of the 4 new characters that'll be joining the show, specifically one of the 10 children who got experimented on before Eleven. If so, is he the key to freeing Eleven from the Upside Down, the key to to destroying the brain? Is he the brain? Are the monsters on Stranger Things just corrupted versions of the other 10 subjects? Or will season 2 end with one of the Byer brothers getting lost again? We're hoping it's not that because Winona Ryder has been through enough. But what do you guys think these episode titles mean? What do you hope to see in season 2 of Stranger Things? Do you think a bigger, better blockbuster approach is the way to go? Let's discuss. And make sure you head on over to Twitch for our live discussion about this and other nerdy topics we loved, like whether Dan's got an all-new Dan Cave where he tells you everything you need to know about Justice League Dark. Spoiler, he does. Like this video and subscribe to keep getting all of your Nerdist news.